First game done for tonight. Let's jump over to the second of our matches tonight. And oh man, this is a corker. Frostie versus Bad Player. Oh boy, dear. This Group E matchup has so many things to talk about. But let's first talk about the history of this group. In week 1, Bad Player played Bit Banding Pig and narrowly lost out 5-3 against Bit Banding Pig. Frostie played Watermeat, and they tied. We actually casted that game back in the first week. Then in week 2, Bad Player played Watermeat and was able to win that series 5-3, picking up their first win of the series. And then in round 2, oh my, Frostie, huge upset against Bit Banding Pig, took a giant win over him. I believe that was a 7-1, if I'm correct, against Bit Banding Pig, which for many people is one of the premier challenger players. If you beat Bit Banding Pig, you're no joke. Unfortunately, we didn't get to cast that match. I definitely wanted to. And so now you have a scenario where Frostie has picked up himself up a tie and a win in his group, and Bad Player has picked up a loss and a win in the group. Bit Banding Pig played Watermeat earlier on, and they tied their matchup. And so now here we have a was it 5-3? Okay, well I've got it recorded wrong potentially on the site here, Frostie. But that's no worries. If it was 5-3, then it's 5-3. Whatever reason, it's recorded as a 7-1 on the website. That's okay. Oh yes, no, never mind. You are right. It was 5-3. Yep. And I can't read the website. No worries. So yeah, it was a big 5-3 win over Bit Banding Pig. Still a huge accomplishment. And so now we're in a position here, Yeesh, with Frostie and Bit Banding Pig, where there's 1,000,001 possibilities based on the way this match plays out.
Yeah, I mean, if Frostie wins, he goes through the top, and then Bit Banding Pig will get in second. And then if Bad Player wins, he'll go through the top. So either player playing for the first seed, which is pretty crazy. Whoever wins this will go through the first seed. But if Bad Player wins only by 5-3, Frostie will come in second. If he wins any higher than that, Bit Banding Pig actually goes through second. So even the score matters here. Usually a win is just a win, but now the set count really, really matters. And
Yeah,
I
not to
think
mention
it
if there's a
does.
tie.
If there's a tie, yeah, the tie is even crazier. Frostie will go through the top, and then Bit Banding Pig will take second. So Bad Player in a must-win situation, but depending on how dominant his set is, it could either be Frostie or Bit Banding Pig going through in second.
Yeah, pretty insane. Frostie, a winner or tie needed if he wants to go through as first. Bad Player needs the win, and then Bit Banding Pig kind of cheering from the sidelines for a very dominant win at that. So without further ado, the three-way possibility for first, second, and third in Group E begins now with Ballroom, our first map here. And we'll have to see how these ones do play out. I'm pretty excited for them though. I mean, it's not often you get a situation where pretty much every game of a series matters for so many people. And we do have Bad Player spying first in the series as well. We're going to be playing Rocker on Ballroom. So let's chuck it over to the game to get this one underway. I'm pretty excited for it. Bad Player spying first in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
In my opinion, this is probably the most evenly matched group I've ever seen. I think every match could have gone either way. Just a couple smaller things could have been done better. Like, it's very surprising to think that Watermeat doesn't even have a chance to make it through at all. He was playing really well in his match versus Frostie. So it's just a shame that only two players can make it through because all these players are very deserving.
I mean, yeah, Watermeat tied Frostie in week 1 and then unfortunately lost to bad player in week 2, and I mean, that's all it came down to for Watermeat to be unfortunately locked out of making it into second position was that single loss in week 2. Whereas all 3 of these other people, Bad Player and Bit Banding Pig are win and loss each, and Frostie a tie and a win. So now with this game underway and with Bit Banding Pig securing himself a tie over Watermeat in week 3, it all comes down to this for Bad Player and Bit Banding Pig. An attempted a bug by Bad Player as he walks past the Ambassador, but it doesn't connect, going to the side statue here, and I wonder if Frostie was suspicious of it.
Seems like his laser's just sort of dancing over him, but not giving him the highlight. Don't think he saw the bug attempt, fortunately for us. It was a decent attempt, but just a little too late on the trigger. Could not quite get it to take.
Here comes our
Still
second
in a really
flip.
good position. Yeah, still in a really good position, though. We've got, like, almost done with Seduce and Inspect, so we have plenty of time to make this work. 2 minutes left, just about. We could even match this up with a swap if we want to. We've seen quite a few swaps from this group, actually. Would not be surprised if Bad Player went for it here.
Bad Player picks up the briefcase, looks to try and emulate the AI with that very short stop, since the Ambassador is at the bookshelves. We could step back into conversation to flirt, but flirtation cooldown wasn't quite ready for it, so we couldn't quite hit it immediately. Now we're forced to look for some more progress across the map. Here comes our second statue visit to lock in our inspects here.
Yeah, I like this decision, especially since our ST was going to be doing other things, and I think Bad Player the right read here, trying to get other mission progress done, because it's going to be tough for us to get this done. Oh, that bug was so clean, the wrong arm. Perfectly timed too, unlike the other bug. This one is perfect,
My
and
God.
no way was that seen.
And then the seduction target walks right back to us. And remember, there's a fingerprint on green bookshelf. This is fantastic shot timing coming out of Frostie. It's just so unfortunate that it is a wrong shot. Bad Player played almost a perfect spy game, you have to feel.
Yeah, besides that missed bug earlier on in the game, I don't think he really made any mistakes. I feel like a lot of players highlight for activity early on, so just playing it cool and then getting soft tells late was really huge. Not getting highlight for the inspects as well also saved us there, but I mean, really great play there by Bad Player.
Here's that wrong arm bug for you once more. We just saw it a couple times from the sniper cam. Absolutely invisible with Frostie's positioning. Lines it up so that as he starts the bug at this point here, his left arm just is a little bit closer to the Ambassador. Let me swing it around so you can see. It's very difficult, but the way the game is programmed is the arm that is closest to the Ambassador at the time of the bug, which just so happens to be the hitbox of the left arm. I think it's the shoulders that matter the most. Is closer to the Ambassador, so that when the bug does start up, it's the left arm that goes out, even though we are, walking past with our right arm, and it just means that from the sniper's point of view here, it is absolutely invisible. The only way you catch this is you rotate all the way around to the right, and then you can see the arm stuck out, and Rocker looking like she's just done a doo-doo. But yeah, that's a spy win coming through from Bad Player, and like mentioned, Frostie with a relatively good shot timing knew that spy was likely to be done, and I mean, he had seen Irish and Rocker together quite a lot. Just unfortunate that it was the other way around. But now it's time to see if Frostie can equalize things on the ballroom. It's been very spy heavy throughout this summer cup. Playing as Queen here. Let's see if he can get it done in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Spy play on ballroom has been really
Oh,
huge. If you can sweep ballroom right at the start, it's really big. Going for this purloin, huge risk, but looks like we're not getting highlight at all. Gonna
Bad
get
Player
this
hasn't
work.
seen it. Still hasn't seen it.
Yeah, not even any reaction here.
We've
Not
just
worried
gulped
about
the
it.
drink.
Amba was requesting the drink, so I don't think he's gonna notice.
Now Teal takes a drink. Does Bad Player snipe onto it now and find it? Guest list is, the tray is pretty obvious to us at this moment. Frostie's got a blue book in hand. The purloin seems to have gone completely clean. Just continuing to look through the eyes of bad player here. He hasn't quite checked the tray yet to confirm that the guest list is gone. Now Frostie has so much time to figure out how he wants to finish this game.
Yeah, purloin's huge. Might induce a shot as well. And I really like the fact that he went and got this book. I think that with this book, it makes it seem like there's no way you could have done the purloin because I was at the bookshelves.
Yeah, you can't.
So I really think this is a great play for Frostie. Might even get Lilith for idling here. But I think maybe now that it's just been so long, I feel like bad player recognizes the purloin, but just knows that he completely missed it, not willing to try to go for any lowlights.
Yeah, there's been no indication yet that bad player has seen the purloin, but it has been visible on his screen multiple times, so you just have to assume that he has seen that it's happened here. Here comes the contact with the double agent, looking to finish our seduce as well, and we've done it. That's 3 out of 4 missions completed. A couple of lowlights for bad player are going to come out retrospectively, and now Frostie is looking to find one more mission on Ballroom to win as Spy.
We have decent cover here on the right side. Returning it to the green shelf would be good, but you could also just go back to the blue bookshelf, play to look for a bug. Either play seems good here. It's up to Frostie at this point. Looks like he's just going to return it.
It's very difficult as well for bad player with a contact and a purloin. You're definitely feeling like the Spy must be getting close to finishing here, and maybe a wrong shot gets pulled off regardless of Frostie's actions. Frostie returns the blue book to the shelf, and look at this, even more idling for the Spy here, really just wanting to lay low and avoid detection from bad play. We actually take a drink as well at 45 seconds. That indicates to us that Frostie's not interested in going to statues. Oh no, he just gulps it. Never mind, there must have been a mistake. There it is. The shot comes through, and like mentioned, relatively good timing for bad player with a BB and a purloin. You definitely have to take a shot at some point. Irish, I believe, had been to statues earlier on in the game. So happened to be the same statue set that she was at the end of the game as well. So maybe a little bit unfortunate for bad player to snipe. For finishing in specs, it could have been possible based on the fact that she went back and visited the same statue. But regardless, fantastic spy play from Frostie, and Ballroom once more never disappoints us here, Yeesh. Lots of spy action always coming through. Now let's step onto the courtyard and see if it continues, as bad player going to play Rocker once more. Is that 2 times in a row for him? I think it is.
Believe so.
Let's see if it's successful in 3, 2, 1, playing it. Spy would never play the same character twice.
No, absolutely not. I've never seen anybody purposely pick the same character multiple times, unless you're Scallions and you're playing Orange Dress, but I would love to see some new meta develop with Rocker. Unfortunately, the red test there means our ST leads, but he's generous enough to come back. Looks like we're going to make a little bit of progress here. And now our options are wide open. This is a good time to BB if bad player really wants it. Have to go over to the other conversation, but looks like he's just going to hang out here.
Look at the amount of highlights we've already got. I believe there's a highlight for Seek for statue visiting. Kane has been standing next to the ambassador in a position where he could have bugged him. And then Bling Twin has a fingerprint from a drink as well. So Frostie's tracking a lot of things with these highlights. It could be pretty good for bad player, especially if he doesn't want a mission complete. One of these AIs may just be suspicious enough to induce a shot from Frostie.
Yeah, we saw that actually work for Frostie, as he decided to just purloin, get a few missions done, and then just lay low and wait until probably the last few seconds until mission completion, hoping for the wrong shot. Bad player doing the same thing, just playing it cool, not getting highlight, and then hopefully, looks like he'll probably go for a rush here at the end. Looks like he's setting himself up for it. But we've only got 1:30 left, and our progress is not great, so we might have to just pick up a hardtail here.
Here comes a fake contact double agent. Bling Twin, the only one in a conversation that could be real. Potential lots of lowlights here. Look at this. 2 lowlights, 3 lowlights on everyone who seems suspicious before. Bling Twin is going to remain top suspect, as well as Queen here potentially as well. Gonna finish our flirt as the seduction target comes back to us.
Unfortunately, some highlights got bumped down to lowlights, but it looks like we're just going to try to
Banana bread.
This is another good. Yeah, we're gonna just take this BB because the double agent did join us.
I
Now
didn't
we're
even see
actually
this
on
purloin
great
happen.
progress.
Fantastic stuff. Look at that. Forces a shot coming through from Frostie. This must have been a white purloin from Bad Player. Let's watch that happen. The timing of it was just after the fake BB here. As you can see, the fake BB happens. Bad Player calls the waiter over. Purloin happens, and I mean, I think Frostie's a little bit too focused in on all the possible lowlights that he can get. Doesn't even see that the guest list is gone until far too late here. When does he notice it? Is it now? Yeah, it's now. Just after Queen rejected.
Banana bread.
And then the second contact comes through, and so Queen already highlight for a fingerprint. Seems like if you're unsure, it's not the worst shot really from Frostie there. Very much justified. Now heading on over to the spy role for himself, going to be playing Irish, the AI that burnt us in the previous games. Let's see if Frostie can burn Bad Player to bring it back to tie in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Really great game from Bad Player there, going for the hard frame. Just slow playing it, not getting highlight, and then going for those quick missions. Induces the shot. Really great play there. Frostie's going to have to respond here. A courtyard win is not as easy as it is on Ballroom, but certainly possible.
The kind of mini meta that seems to be shaping up between some of these players. Definitely feels like it is possible to pick up back-to-back spy wins. Especially when missed shots come through, you start to feel a little bit less comfortable about your sniping ability. Frostie gets himself a huge 51% flirt and a fingerprint from the briefcase, which he returns all the way to the ambassador. 100% seen on Bad Player's screen there.
I mean, we've seen 4 spy wins in the last set. No reason we couldn't see it here. And already decent progress made. Not highlight for the fingerprint gives us pretty good chances. And with the ambassador taking a drink, this is going to be fingerprint completion right here.
Oh no, he
we
rejects
actually
it.
reject.
Oh, and he gets the low light as well. Bad Player rewards the reject there. That is a huge behavioralist low light coming through from Bad Player. And Frostie may just succeed from it. In fact, he gets a drink from the waiter here, and there's the fingerprint still there, and he hits the green test. Oh my, this goes so well for Frostie.
I don't blame Bad Player at all. I think I would have done the same thing if I knew a character had fingerprint and then rejected the easiest print in the game. I totally would empathize with Bad Player here going for this low light. I feel like Frostie, that's a all-star play. I feel like he's got this game in the bag now as long as he finishes missions.
Right, this is a huge play from Frostie. He recognized that that Bad Player was low lighting for something like this, and decides that he's going to give it a go to try and pull out the low light, and that's great adaptation in the series. It's really unfortunate for Bad Player because you feel like he would be all over this game if it wasn't for that low light. Maybe he still brings it back to neutral. 50 seconds on the clock. We're going to step into the conversation with Text the double agent here. Look for the contact of the double agent as well. Here it comes. A white test.
Banana bread.
How does Bad Player react to it? Doesn't seem like he's...
As long as we don't swap here, we probably won. I mean, we go to inspects, right? We don't risk anything crazy. This has been an outstanding game from Frostie.
This could be dangerous. Oh no, look at that. The double agent's there. If we decide to go for inspects now, we're going to definitely get overtime beeps. Frostie, how do you react to this? Looks like he's going to go for it anyway. A low light at statue is a very difficult shot regardless. Going to pick up the statue. First inspect. We've hit 10-second mark. There is now going to be overtime. Second inspect goes through. That statue's inspected and the mission win countdown starts now. That's a whole 8 seconds of overtime and Frostie escapes the statues. Here comes the overtimes. Who could it be? Bad Player doesn't know. He's panicking. Goes for the shot onto Till. The character I guess he thought was most suspicious based on her activity through the game. And that was just an overtime that Bad Player was not expecting whatsoever.
I mean, I would be surprised too if all of my guests look like, oh, they're not doing anything. It couldn't be anybody. And then the one guy who rejects a fingerprintable drink completes with fingerprint. That's a huge shock to you if you're a Bad Player.
Absolutely. Beautiful play by Frostie, and just it's really unfortunate for bad player. That's one of those sniper games that you feel you threw away. That the emphasis was on you to have not made that low lining mistake. I empathize with it because most of my sniper losses come through the same way. And I hope for bad player that single sniper loss doesn't tilt the rest of the series, because that would be a sad way to watch a series crumble. Here we are, though, on Library, the Spies Playground. The series all tied up 2-2 at the halfway point. Let's see if bad player can keep his mental game strong as Cowboy in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
So far, 2 spy parties, but the snipers in last game picked it up, and I'm still going to stand by my statement that pacing is much different here than it is on 4-7 maps or 4-8 maps. Bad player looks like he's adjusting to that. Goes for the timeout immediately.
Nice little green
this.
test as well. So it makes it very difficult for Frostie to be able to track it back to anyone.
Yeah, it looks like he's setting himself up for flirt. Really excellent start. Just get those soft hills done. Did break animation to sip there, but I doubt we're going to get caught for that on Library. If someone catches you for doing that, I mean, you just have to credit them for it, for a job well done, and hope that they're wasting more of their time doing that than they are watching missions.
Yeah, I mean, Warning Track puts it best that if a player is looking for etiquette, then they're not looking for other things. That they must be spending a goddamn awful amount of time watching down one character instead of the rest of the party. Definitely, this early on, I think really difficult to spot regardless. Without any huge suspects. Here comes a contact though, nice and early for bad player. And the Toby the Wait is behind us. Maybe we're seeing a Purloin play as well. Does he go for the Purloin? No, he rejects the drink. And look, there's lots of lowlights coming out from Frostie, not hesitating whatsoever. That is, what, 6 lowlights taken by Frostie, and all correct.
That's pretty huge, especially on Library. You don't see that too often. Sometimes BB splits can happen when they're off screen, and the sniper feels a little bit wary about going for those. We actually saw that with Alexei versus Turnip Boy being a little bit timid and taking those low. It's afraid of a BB split. But here, Frostie, no fear, makes the correct decision.
Yeah, and really, really easy stuff to do as well, considering the amount of guests that was on his screen at the time that weren't in conversation, couldn't be in conversation. There was quite a few of them. But then doesn't, rotate over to the left side of the map and do anything with any possible lowlights. Kind of goes, I got 6. A couple of those were highlights converted down to lowlights as well. Now I can just look to try and catch the spy. With a field that's now pretty open, we've got Queen who's picking up side statues. I believe Plane Twin has been to a statue set as well. So only 2 highlights at the halfway mark. And oh wow, bad play goes for a bug, but doesn't quite connect since it was walking. We weren't in range. I think we might actually be in range now, just outside of it potentially. Could look for a second attempt, especially if the ambassador walks past us. I don't think he will though. Very unlikely.
Yeah, Ambassador does go the other way, unfortunately for us, so we're going to miss out on that opportunity. Not bad at all, though. It looks like we were going to go for that fingerprint. Got to find something else to do, though. Watching the sniper laser, not too many highlights coming out, and a big focus on books, marking almost every single book that's taken. So I feel like that mission's going to be very difficult to get done. Now we go for inspects, get highlight, and now we've got to find 2 more missions plus this last flirt.
Maybe we go for the bug on the way out. No, we don't. That's middle statue's done. Frostie seemed like he was very nervous. A swap could be happening there, but as we see, it doesn't come through. Seduction target's in his conversation by himself, but we'll leave. Now we have to look for our flirt and our fourth and fifth mission after that. With a highlight, it can be pretty difficult with a minute left on the clock.
Yeah, we might need to bank on a green test here with a green Purloin or a green swap.
Oh, another timeout. Oh, we bought it.
That's a beep.
Yeah.
Is it noticed? No lowlights coming out, so maybe not noticed. It was close to the 1 minute mark, so not the worst thing to hear, but still unfortunate for bad play there. That 45 seconds could have been huge.
Yeah, absolutely. Decided the white test wasn't what he wanted. Frostie didn't seem to react to the beep either way. Here we go. 28 seconds, and we need to find 2 more missions here. Eyeing up Toby, eyeing up Ambassador, and looking towards the statue. Maybe it's going to be a bug and a swap, or maybe we go for another time ad. Here it comes. Time ad, white test. Beeping's going to stop. Ooh, snaps over. Sees Cowboy leaving the area. And oh, look at this. Some lowlights coming out. For 100% did not. Was nervous a bug could have happened, I think, as well there. Let's rewind that. As the Ambassador kind of walks past as we kind of see him. Yeah, I think Frostie, I mean, one, potentially confident that it was Cowboy who added time, as you can see from this sniper snap. He's watching the right-hand side, no one at the pads, and then as the time ad comes through, kind of slaps back over, and there's still no one at pads, and Cowboy leaves the pad. So I think at this point you're pretty confident, but then not seeing if a bug happened here, take the shot regardless. Really good shot from Frostie.
Yeah, unfortunately, our pacing just was not there, and being highlight with such little time, we were forced to do a time ad there. Let's see if Frostie's pacing can be any better.
It's really unfortunate as well that the walking bug, as it started, just being out of range as he stepped into conversation, it was completely invisible. But a walking bug has a smaller range than a standing bug. I don't know if... Yeah, we can see it. Okay, well, let's use this as a kind of indicator. I like to use it as my indicator. If you look at the ring here underneath the seduction target, as you can see the outer ring and the inner ring, that's roughly, it's not quite, but it's roughly the ranges of a walking bug and a standing bug. So the standing bug being the outer ring, and the walking bug being in the inner ring there. And so if you keep that... Go on.
I was going to say another good way to gauge that is walking bug will take if you were close enough to invade the ambassador's personal space. That's something I've tested with Twitch bugs. You can like twitch into the ambassador's space, but you do have to be close enough so that you are invading their personal space. A little bit of tech if you wanna try that out at home.
Yeah, a standing bug is actually just a little bit larger than the ambassador's circle and the seduction target circle. You'll know if you can bug because instead of the tooltip on the action menu saying start planting bug, it will just simply say plant bug. And so if you see that your circles aren't quite touching and it says plant bug, that bug will take 100%. So there you go, some hot tips for bugging the ambassador. Maybe Frostie will bug the ambassador here in just a second. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
We did start out pretty close to the ambassador route, but unfortunately we take our separate ways. No early bug. But an early purloin, can we get away with this? One of the earliest, riskiest missions. Does it pay off? We go and hide in the spot behind the pillar.
Looking at badplayer's laser, I don't think this is noticed at all. We gulped the drink as well. He's now seen that the guest list has been purloined. Oh wow, okay, never mind. He was all over that. Shot immediately comes through. Badplayer's not messing around. He's going to take that shot. What did he see? Did he see the guest list getting offered at the start of the game? Because I don't think he did.
Seems interesting. Yeah, it's very interesting that he didn't shoot immediately. Yeah, looks like he did, and just noticed that where Frostie bailed to.
And then afterwards, he sees the offer to Duke. Guest list is gone. There's no way that anyone else is offered in between, so just waits for a clean shot. Really nice stuff from badplayer, all over that. Now we head into to library here. All tied up, 3 apiece. Frostie looking to try and make it fall his way, as badplayer will be spying as a general. We have seen some pretty good spy wins on this map. Let's see if badplayer can find another. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
If you want to win a spy, you do have to take risks. Early purloin is not a terrible risk to take. But now it's tied up. Oh, that highlight. This is going to hurt so much. We haven't been early highlight yet. Fortunately for badplayer, we've been trying to play really slow and avoid these highlights now. We're being highlighted so early on. It's going to be really tough to finish missions.
This is
See
the worst.
If he can pull us back.
The worst gut-wrenching highlight to receive at the start of the game. A flirt pairing highlight. Alice was at Windows. General arrives at Windows shortly afterwards. Frostie goes. Could be a threat onto Alice. That contact, though, might actually save us a little bit from that highlight because we're not in a conversation with the double agent or the suspected double agent. And we're in a pretty full conversation as well. It's very difficult to know that fake BB will succeed. But it does, somehow. Frostie, though, not willing to do much with it. Actually looks for just 1, 2 lowlights by looks of it, maybe 4 possible, but not converting any of those highlights on the left to neutrals.
Yeah, it looked like he was almost about to highlight everyone with the real BB. There would have only been about 4 people with
Oh, the
that
bug.
decided to go against it. Resumed in. I feel like we were suspicious of it, but did not quite catch it.
We'll have to go back
That
and
was
see that.
awfully close. Yeah, it looked like the laser just snaps as soon as bug happens. I feel like bad player might know something's up.
All right. Seduction target all the way up at 68%. If Frostie felt he saw the bug, then he will wait for extra confirmation. He knows that bad player doesn't have a contact of the double agent and that there's no other missions completed by bad player. So if bad player goes to statues, maybe we get shot, or maybe we even just wait for another contact of the double agent. And it looks like he's coming our way as well, which will help us just a little bit if we're Frostie and we did suspect the bug. Seduction target has been seduced. 2 out of 4 missions. Here comes the contact, this time real for bad player. A couple more lowlights available as well. How suspicious is Frostie of the bug?
Bad player thinks this is clean. He goes to the statues now. Looks like he's about to do it. Can Frostie take that shot? I feel like he was suspicious enough to do it, but can he make that decision? Not entirely sure. Bad player hasn't really been doing much. He's just been staying in that conversation the whole game. Here he goes to statues. What is Frostie's reaction?
Remember, we got highlight for a potential flirt onto Alice, and we haven't been seen next to her since then. The inspector's done, mission win countdown. Frostie zooms in on towards the statue, notices that it's fine. It's still ahead. It looks like bad player has got away with it. That is a fantastic win by bad player. Puts him up to 4 against Frostie. And now Frostie requires a tie if he wants to go through to the knockout stages.
When the game's on the line, you got to be on your prime. It's all down to the spy game here. When you have to clutch it out as a spy, it can be really difficult.
Watch this bug back in again in slow motion. And Frostie was suspicious of the idea that a bug could happen here. You can see him zoom in. It's just a second too late. And the great thing about a walking bug, this is a walking bug because the ambassador is walking towards you, is that the spy character won't lean. They will just stand still and throw their arm out. And when you select Taft as your ambassador, it's very difficult to see that arm go out. You actually just see a glimpse of it as the bug is completed. But by the set time that Frostie has zoomed in, I don't think he's seen the arm snap back. The zoom and kind of the eyes relating to it just don't quite happen at the same time. If he had seen the bug, then you would feel the shot would have came through for the inspects at the end here. And so now, jumping on over to Frostie on the spiral as Irish. Let's remind the viewers of the conditions of this game. Now that bad player has secured himself 4 points here, there are 2 possibilities here. Bad player wins 5-3, and if that happens, then bad player will go out of the group as first, and then it will come down to set percentage wins for Frostie and Bit Banding Pig, which currently favors Frostie. However, if Frostie is able to win a spy game and tie the series up at 2-2, then what will happen is Frostie will go through as first in the group, and it will come down to set percentage between Bit Banding Pig and Bad Player. And as it stands, Bit Banding Pig will be favored in that. And so for Bad Player, a win is needed, and you're on the sniper roll. But for Frostie, a win is needed, and you're on the spy roll. This couldn't be any more tense, yeesh. I can't wait to watch it. Counting us in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Both of these players both have to be feeling so tense as spy, especially you have to give out your best performance. You can't just rush missions, or if you do, you're gonna make that call right now. when the game's on the line. A sniper, are you going to take any lowlights? Bad play. Frosty, I think, believe lowlit bad player earlier for that fingerprint. But if bad player lowlights Frosty here, that could be huge.
It was the
Looks
other
like
way
we're
around.
taking.
Bad player, low lit Frosty for the fingerprint.
It was
Yeah.
wow.
So
It was
we're
the other way.
even.
Now, if you lowlight the spy now, it's over.
It's over, and you've lost your chance. Bad player, Frosty, sorry, heads to bar, picks up a delegate, but doesn't take the drink. It's a little trick you can do if you walk away quick enough. Checker has said that's a bug, but you can continue using it. Here comes a fake contact, but unfortunately for us, the SDA is in conversation with us. So for bad player, he's going to think this is a real contact for Irish and the rest of the people in that group.
Frosty hoping maybe to get Lola with that fake BB. Not panning out for him, unfortunately, but we're not in a terrible position here at all.
Did
We
we
still have
delegate
decent
to
progress on
Queen?
everything.
We
We did.
did,
Oh,
but the
and it
timer expires.
just expires. That's gonna hurt quite a bit and set us back. But don't think we're in a terrible position here.
Gonna pick up a flirt though, nice and close for 84%. So regardless of the fact that it doesn't succeed, we do get our flirt to a nice high position. And now we pick up another delegate timer. I don't think this is going to succeed. We're currently relying on Queen to take another sip, but I mean, she's a good AI, so she does. 100% done on the flirt. Frosty getting a little bit lucky there. Going to step back into the same conversation as before with the suspected double agent here. Now looking to potentially look for another delegate. This time it would be towards Seek, if anyone, but we don't go for it.
Yeah, not too many people at the bar, so I really like Frosty's decision here. Not wanting to risk it since there were not many people at the bar anyways to frame. So just going to play it slow. Now we need 3 missions with 1 minute left. You have to do something here. Unless you are hoping somebody gets shot for nothing, there's no mission shown.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
Frosty might have to do something here in order to induce a shot.
Maybe you just rely on bad player to make the mistake here. You've already done contact. How confident is bad player that he's been on top of everything? Only 2 highlights. Seek and Kane. Frosty going to head on over to the statue here. Maybe we're going to swap frame Seek. Oh my goodness, can you imagine?
That would be crazy to rely the whole game on a frame green swap. The gets are blocking it, and the...
Oh, he's gone for it. The white swap comes through. Oh my goodness. At the same time, though, a shot comes through for a phantom bug onto Queen. Frosty with a very, very courageous play, but unfortunately we'll never get to find out if it happened because bad player was pretty confident that he saw Queen bug the ambassador as she enters the statue the conversation here.
Yeah, and I mean, that props to Frosty there because he is fully committing to losing this game. He has no bug, he has no contact, he has no purloin. He would not have been able to win that game. He was purely relying on the frame on to Seek. So, full props to Frosty. Sadly, we did not get to see that. I would have really loved to see the decision making there because the fade was not visible at all.
I mean, I'm assuming that that shot was for a phantom bug. There is a slight amount of the statue visible on the screen. And maybe bad player thought that Queen was the one at statue's last.
Possibly.
Not high lit, so I don't know. Maybe a bad player can confirm whether or not this is a phantom bug shot. Either way, that ties the series up 4-4 apiece. A tie at the end of the day. And like we mentioned, a tie favors Frosty. Frosty will progress out of Group E in first, followed by Bit Banding Pig, who just had a better set percentage than Bad Player did. It came down to the second tiebreaker there. Both Bit Banding Pig and Bad Player tied on four score based on the fact that they had a equal path, a tie, a loss, and a win. And so then their points exactly the same as well, due to the fact that they kind of secured the same amount of points throughout their games. But the set percentage win, how many times you sweep a set, just happened to be higher in Bit Banding Pig's favor, 25% versus 8.3. And so With the second tiebreaker coming down to the line, Bitbanning Pig will come out of Group E as second. Unfortunately, Bad Player finishes in third and won't progress.
I'd just love to say congratulations to all these players. This was definitely the most entertaining group to watch. All of these matches were very competitive, very close. Came down to the wire, and just some tiny little mistakes just cost all of these players. But really well done to Bad Player, really well done to Watermeat, even though they didn't make it through. Very deserving players. Congratulations to everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. Fantastic stuff here so far in the Summer Cup, and the games, apparently they just continue getting better, or so I'm told.